Hello, YouTube people. My name is Mr. G, and you are watching Elite Weather. And in this weather forecast, we're going to cover the forecast for the next 3 days, and we're going to talk a lot about some of the things that's taking place out there. And as we get started, we're going to talk about our city of the day. And our city of the day is going to be Sacramento, capital of the U.S. state of California, and it lies at the confluence of the Sacramento River and the American River. The district of Old Sacramento harkens back to the city's gold rush era with wooden sidewalks and wagon rides. So one of several museums in Old Sacramento, the California State Railroad Museum, depicts the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad, one of the country's earliest technological feats. So just a little bit about the city of Sacramento, and it is the capital of our most populous state there on the American and the Sacramento River. Look at this beautiful lift bridge right there. So the beautiful city of Sacramento. Sac Town is what we Californians call it. We call it Sac or Sac Town. And it's 79 beautiful degrees out there right now, as it's still pretty early in the morning. It's probably about 10 a.m. out there as I'm recording this video. It's probably about noon. So in Cali it's about 10. So it's only 79 degrees. When you see what their high temperature is going to be today, wow, unbelievable. And there's the forecast for this afternoon. Going to be mostly sunny, and we're going to be seeing that triple-digit heat. Here's their 3-day weather forecast. Look at that, a high of 103 degrees today and tomorrow. But then by Saturday, we're going to see those temperatures about 107. So a lot of heat there through the Central Valley of Northern California, at least the northern end of the Central Valley. And I'm pretty sure there's a heat advisory or an excessive heat watch in effect for Northern California. We will check that out in just a moment here as we dive in to the weather today. We got a lot to cover in the weather today, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. And weather highlights is going to be, we're going to talk about the monsoon rains. A lot of monsoon rains out there through the Four Corners and the desert Southwest. And we have a lot of storms down from Texas all the way up along the Gulf Coast to the southeast. So we're going to be dealing with our southeastern storms today and heavy rain and the heat across the southern plains and into Texas, and again across the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of heat in place as well. So that is the weather highlights for your day today. And as we talk about, take a look at our satellite image. We're seeing that front, those clouds here across the southeast, and that heavy rain, and then across North Texas there as well. And there is our lovely monsoon moisture in the southwest, Arizona, going on up through Nevada and Utah. We're seeing those showers and storms just starting to get going because it's pretty early in the day. We have another disturbance here across the northern plains and through the upper Mississippi Valley, moving through Minnesota. That's going to spread some showers and storms in that region, and another large area of low pressure here through portions of the northeast into New England. And I really have to stretch to reach up there. So we're dealing with those three. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 big areas of some precipitation that we're going to be seeing across America on your Thursday afternoon. And as we take a look at our radar, here is that radar with that rainfall. We're seeing it across North Texas here, Dallas, Fort Worth, through Abilene and Odessa and Midland. So in this region of Texas, it's seeing some beneficial rainfall, and we're also seeing more rainfall down here along the Gulf Coast, along our frontal boundary, and there's a few more showers, and so got some pretty good rain here through portions of Maine. So this is actually mostly into Canada, so Quebec and Montreal is seeing that rainfall, and it's just outside the United States, but that will be moving through Maine later on today. And we have another low pressure with an associated cold front here across the upper Mississippi Valley through Minnesota and through portions of the Red River there through Minnesota and North Dakota, where Fargo, Moorhead is located. And we're seeing some rain showers and storms there. And then across the Pacific Northwest, we have another weak area of low pressure there, and it's spreading some rain shower, and it's actually tapping in to some of that monsoon moisture, taking it in. So we're going to be seeing some showers showers across the Cascades this afternoon. Yet at the same time, it's still going to be really hot across the Pacific Northwest, and we're going to see triple-digit heat through the interior portions of Washington, especially, and some in Oregon. So even with some rainfall in the area, it's still excessively hot through the Pacific Northwest. And we're going to take a look at our surface map. Here is our analysis of what's going on out there. And we have our cold front here across the state of Texas. And we're going to look at how that's affecting the weather out in Texas. And then we have a little bit of a low pressure center right here, what's called a trough or a open wave here, a low pressure. We have another trough and we have this frontal boundary here that's going across North Florida, and it's attached to this another secondary area of low pressure. And then we have our main area of low pressure just off the coast of Massachusetts there. So we see that area here. So all of this is going to be providing the focus for showers and thunderstorms and some heavy rain this afternoon. And then we have a secondary frontal system with a cold front, or a low pressure and a front that's going to be moving across the northern plains from west to east. And that's going to be spreading showers and storms through the upper Midwest and the upper Mississippi Valley into Minnesota. We're going to be seeing that. Here is our four corners high in place, and it's pumping in that monsoon moisture. And we have another short wave of low pressure out here across the Pacific Northwest that's tapping in to some of that monsoon moisture, and it's going to be providing the lift for some showers across Northern California and through portions of Oregon as well. So here we are as we take a look at the rainfall through portions of the Four Corners. Here's that monsoon rain. Now this is about a 30-hour estimate of how much rainfall is expected through the Four Corners. And you see all of these could be some rainfall. So some places, especially down here, just south of the Mexican border into north of Sonora, Mexico. Here we can see over an inch of rainfall, and as well, because we do have upper level disturbances also down here that's going to enhance the amount of rainfall that we see through portions of southern Arizona and southwestern New Mexico and West Texas. So El Paso, Albuquerque, Deming, Lordsburg, Tucson, Bisbee, Tombstone. If you're in this area, you're going to be seeing that potential for a lot of heavy rain that could lead to some flash flooding concerns this afternoon. So as we take a look now, we're going to look at the other area where some heavy rain is going to be expected, and it's down here across portions of southeast Texas along the Gulf Coast as our frontal boundary is dropping to the south. And right here we can see some heavy rainfall. Rainfall totals right here can see as much as 3 inches. So 3 inches of rain is possible later today and into at least over the next 30 hours through South Texas and along the Gulf Coast through Louisiana and Mississippi. So southern Alabama, Mississippi, and the Florida Panhandle, we're going to be seeing that potential for some heavy rainfall that could lead to some flooding issues this afternoon and tomorrow as well. And here we are as we look at the southeast. So across the southeast, Florida through portions of South Carolina, Georgia here, Florida as well. And we are looking at that heavy rainfall potential where a couple of inches of rain could fall in some locations down along the Gulf Coast this afternoon and tomorrow. All right, let's talk about the heat now. So we can see that potential for heavy rain, but again, at the same time, it's going to be very, very hot because we're waiting for that front to drop down to the south here near the Houston area. So eventually it's going to get down here, and it's going to cool off here as well, and we're going to see that heavy rain and those showers and storms, but it will squash that triple-digit heat. But in the meantime, it's going to still be hot down here across South Texas. But if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, much better weather conditions as far as the heat is concerned, but you are dealing with that rainfall across North Texas and temperatures will fall back into the 80s and even some 70s out there with that cloud cover. So a very different story across North Texas as opposed to South Texas. So I-30 South is going to be still in that heat, but I-30 North towards I-40, we're going to be seeing improving temperatures, but added rainfall across the state of Texas. And here we are as we look at the Pacific Northwest, our other area of bizarre weather this afternoon and tomorrow. And we're seeing it very hot there across south central Washington in this region here. You see those temperatures 106 and 108, 109. So it's approaching 110 here through south central Washington and northern Oregon. This is the Columbia River Gorge area right here as well. So we're seeing that hot weather, and also along portions of the Idaho and Oregon and Washington border here, we're seeing temperatures in the triple digits, and we're seeing a few triple digits along the Pacific side of the Northwest as well. A couple of degrees. We're seeing some warm weather through portions of Oregon, like Portland could be near 100 degrees, but you're going to see 89 degrees up there in Seattle. So hot weather still across portions of the Pacific Northwest, especially on the leeward side of the Cascade Mountain Range. Now, as we look at our upper air pattern, and what we're seeing here is what's been the pattern for the most part the last month or so has been you see these lines going over the top, dropping down here. You see how these impulses of energy, circulations dropping down. So we have a very high amplitude ridge across the west, and that high amplitude ridge is allowing that monsoon moisture to be pumped in, and it's very active, so it's fueling a very active monsoon season. You see disturbances, this is called a dirty ridge, is when it allows for impulses of energy to come in underneath the ridge. So we do see this area here that's going to be allowing for some showers and storms across northern California and through portions of the Pacific Northwest, but it's not going to be enough to break the heat and let you deal with a shower at the time. But if it's not raining or cloudy, it's going to be really hot because you're still under the overall influence of that high amplitude ridge. But we have a deep trough here along the East Coast, and you see that energy that's there over the Northeast. We have our second piece of energy that's dropping down across the northern plains into Minnesota. So it's going to be spreading showers and storms in this region. And you see that overall pattern in those let me see where I can stand here. And that energy coming over the ridge, dropping down into the northeast here and near the Great Lakes. So that is the pattern that we're on. So we're seeing cooler weather as far as temperatures is concerned across the east and into the northeast, but that high amplitude ridge out in the west is really keeping the heat going strong across the state of Texas and through portions of the northwest and into California. So as we take a look at our watches and hazards, our watches this afternoon, a large area that could be dealing with some flash flooding and heavy rain today. We're going to be seeing that heavy rain that leads to those flooding issues through New Mexico and Arizona primarily. And we have our heat advisories there across the Pacific Northwest. We're seeing a heat advisory and an excessive heat watch. And we have our red flag area there through portions of California and Oregon as well. So we have our heat-related advisories out west, the Pacific Northwest, down through the Central Valley of California, so Bakersfield to Sacramento. We have a heat advisory in place as those digits will be in the triple, so we're going to see 100 plus through the entire San Joaquin and Central Valley of California. No watches and warnings out to the east, but I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow to see some flood-related watches across the southeast as our frontal boundary continues to remain in place tomorrow down across the southeastern U.S. So that is your weather today. Yeah, let's talk about our 3-day weather forecast. And we're going to start off talking about those monsoons across the southwest. This is this afternoon's outlook. So those monsoons will continue across the state of Arizona and lead to those flash flooding issues today. And we're going to be seeing that potential for some showers and storms all the way up to southern Oregon and through the state of Nevada as well. And extreme eastern California might see an afternoon shower and storm. We have our frontal boundary down here from Texas through the southeast. We have this short wave down here near Louisiana, and we have another short wave down here in South Georgia and through the Florida Panhandle. And it's these short waves of energy that's going to enhance the rainfall. So we can see some flash flooding or heavy rain and flood through portions of the southeast and along the Gulf Coast as well. And we have our other area of low pressure there in the northeast that's spreading that rainfall there. So from Boston all the way down through New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, where you can see those showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And across the state of Minnesota, we have another short wave of low pressure with an associated cold front and a warm front. We got a nice little triple point there in the Pacific into the northern plains. So it's going to lead to some severe weather possible this afternoon. And that primary threat, it's going to be some heavy rain and some hail and some damaging winds, and an isolated tornado is going to be possible as well. So we're going to see some traditional severe weather through portions of the upper Midwest this afternoon. And that dry weather will continue through portions of Montana and Idaho and over into the Pacific Northwest as well. But it's going to be hot out there. And so your Friday forecast, the monsoons will amplify as our ridge kind of shifts position here and really opens that door up a little bit further. And we have that upper level disturbance down there that's along the U.S. and Mexican border that's going to enhance those monsoon rains down across New Mexico and southern Arizona. So that rain is going to continue, and with that chance for flash flooding down across the Four Corners and into the southwest. We have a trough of low pressure there in the Pacific Northwest that might provide a little bit of relief from the heat in your Friday, and with a few showers and thunderstorms across portions of the Pacific Northwest, as you can see there. And in the northern plains, our other front here intensify. This is going to actually take on a negative tilt, get a little bit more intense, and increase that shot for some severe weather here tomorrow across the Pacific, the northern plains there through Minnesota and Wisconsin, all the way down through Iowa, through Kansas and Missouri. We can see those showers and storms as well. And then our front will continue to be stationary across the southeast and spread showers and storms along the Gulf Coast and through portions of the Mid-South and the Southeast as well. So from Virginia, North Carolina, through portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and West Virginia, we could see some more showers and storms again. And now the Northeast into New England is going to have a nice day tomorrow with nice pleasant temperatures from Maine all the way down through Pennsylvania. So a great day for you folks. Nice weather also through portions of Ohio and in Indiana, and the boot of Michigan can see a mostly dry day as well, but a shower might be possible along the far northern tip of Michigan tomorrow. So that is your Friday forecast. Now finally, let's take a look at Saturday. So look at the southwest again. That very, very active monsoon season is going to continue. And here we are midway through the month of August, and we're seeing that potential for heavy rain and flooding down through New Mexico and Arizona and portions of northwest Texas for your Saturday. So we're going to see that heavy rain continue across the southwest. A few showers all the way to the northern Rockies through portions of Montana and Idaho again. And we're going to see more showers and storms possible through eastern Nevada, southeastern California, Utah, Colorado, through the central southern plains, so portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, northwestern Texas is going to see those showers and storms, and those showers and storms are associated with this secondary frontal boundary here across the upper Mississippi Valley, and that's going to slowly move to the east through Minnesota and Wisconsin, where we're going to be seeing heavy rain and the potential for more severe weather. And showers and storms are going to begin to spread through the mid-Atlantic states, the Great Lakes, and then continue across the southeast and through the state of Florida. Could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms for your Saturday. Now, as we move into our quick look at the severe weather, because we've already talked about it a lot, and our severe weather, we have that upper system there in the northern plains and the upper Mississippi Valley. A little bit of severe weather is going to be possible. As you see the yellow here, that's our slight risk. That's our area where we have the potential for a spin up, for a weak tornado possible, but you can see some large hail, damaging winds as well, and very heavy rainfall. So this is going to be our area where that severe weather can take place, through Nebraska there and through portions of Minnesota and into Iowa and South Dakota. And then we're going to see that severe weather potential down here along the Gulf Coast and into Texas, as well as through Florida and into the southeast. And that is going to be mostly for heavy rain and some gusty winds is going to be possible. So as we take a look at your forecast tomorrow, we won't have the slight risk, but we will have a marginal risk there through the upper Midwest, and we're going to see that severe weather potential through Iowa and Missouri and Kansas, where we're going to be dealing with some heavy rain and gusty winds is going to be that primary threat for your Friday. And then again on Saturday, that area just moves to the east ever so slightly. Eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and central Missouri could deal with that potential for severe weather, and your primary threat is going to be some gusty winds and heavy rainfall for your Saturday. So that is a look at the severe weather outlook. Now let's talk about the tropics. Now, we've had a very quiet tropical weather season. La Nina should have enhanced the tropical situation and caused an uptick in the amount of storms, but unfortunately, there's a plume of dust that's been blowing off of the Sahara, as there's a lot of dust in this year, and it's decreasing the tropical activity in the Atlantic and in the Caribbean. And with that, we only have one item that we're not really concerned about, because it has a very slight chance of further development. Right now, it's over the Yucatan, about to move out into the Bay of Campeche right here, and it could develop into a depression as it moves it back out over the open waters of the southern Gulf of Mexico. But it may not have enough time. That's the thing about tropical. They need time. And it may not have that before it moves back into the Mexican mainland. But nevertheless, it has about a 20% chance of development as it moves out back over the water. So here's a look at the plume of dust that's been coming off of the Sahara Desert. It's been coming across the Atlantic, down across the southern Caribbean, and it's been getting caught up by the Bermuda High, and it's been being pulled into the Caribbean and to the southeast and the Gulf of Mexico. And that dust has been stabilizing the atmosphere, keeping the atmosphere cooler than average. So we're not having the energy to produce big tropical storms. So that's how that dust is inhibiting the development of tropical systems this summer across the equatorial and the tropical Atlantic. So that is a look at your 3-day weather forecast. I'm your meteorologist, Mr. G. Thank you for joining me on YouTube today, everybody. I will see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. And I also have a TikTok channel, which you can see the link for in this video's description. So if you want shorter forecasts, you can go over there and check out my daily forecast on TikTok every day. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.